What's up guys, I'm back up in New Hampshire for this video, and it was quite the cold one. I summited 3 more 4,000 footers and spent an overnight in the hot tent at negative 10 degrees. So the most extreme temperatures I've camped in, and a super fun hike. Mount Tom, Mount Field, and Mount Willey. Mount Tom is 4,051 feet, named after Thomas Crawford, an early 1800s settler and innkeeper. Mount Field is the middle summit of the three at 4,340 feet. It's also the highest of the three. It's named after Darby Field, the first European to summit Mount Washington in 1642. And finally, Mount Willey at 4,285 feet is named after the Willey family, which died in an 1826 landslide. That's the historic tragedy that the Willey House site is referring to. There's a lookout a little bit past the peak of Mount Willey that looks over the Pemi Wilderness, and it was one of the best views that I can remember. That is really what these trips are all about. Getting up to the top of a mountain after grinding all day, and you look out and you just are almost speechless. Alright, so I got my fuel for the night. Got some wood logs, got some compressed sawdust briquettes, fire starter, got some toe warmers at REI, ice axe, just in case I need it. Probably won't need it. And yeah, about 32 minutes from camp. It's about 3:06 p.m. So I'm gonna giddy up, try to get to camp as early as I can, set up, and then hunker down for a little while. Maybe go get some food, we'll see. But I'll catch up with you guys then. Peace. Alright, looks like I have to hike in about a quarter mile. Got some of my gear laid out. Probably have to do 2 trips. Wasn't planning on having to hike the gear in, but better get started soon. It's gonna be dark in probably like an hour 15. Luckily, quarter mile's not that far, so let's go. Thought it was gonna be easier to find the site. My mistake, but it's really not too bad. It's about maybe 0.32 miles in off the parking spot. I got my snowshoes on, and here we are pulling up to the tent site. Got a backpack full of fire fuel. Got my axe, not to chop down trees, just to dig the spikes in and get the tent nice and taut. Whew. A little bit of grunt work. After this, I think I'm gonna go maybe look to see if I can buy a sled somewhere so that I can drag out in the morning easier. And go get some food, maybe a beer at a local brewery, something like that. All right, I'm gonna finish getting set up, and I'll show you guys what I come up with after that. Alright guys, that's it for me. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Oh, slept in a little bit. It's 5:15. That was super cozy. But it's time to start breaking down camp and hitting the road. Took longer than expected to pack up camp. It's like 7:15. Took me like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. Negative 10 degrees, dark out. First time breaking everything down in actual cold conditions. Not to mention the site was a quarter mile from the car, so should have known that was going to be a little bit of a doozy, but hey, we survived. Negative 10. That's an all-time low for camping temperatures for me. So I'm going to head to the trailhead, warm up a little bit, maybe grab a coffee, and then we're going to get after it. Little egg and steak wrap to fuel me at the trailhead. I believe that's Mount Tom over there. Actually, that's probably Mount Tom. We'll find out. Ready to get going though. Late start. Cheers, motherfuckers. Have a day. Negative 2 degrees. Oh, update soon. All right, mile and a half, maybe 2 miles in. Going pretty strong. Absolutely beautiful out here. It's probably still around 0 degrees, but getting used to it. Ice bear's starting to form. All right, I'm just gonna do quick updates though. Don't want my hands to get cold, taking them out of the gloves. But so far so good. Absolutely loving these MSR snowshoes. Hitting the Mount Tom spur, getting Tom out of the way first. Then I'm gonna double back. Let's fucking go. Yes. I just discovered that Mount Tom spur and the summit is 0.6 away. All right, guys, summit of Mount Tom. Here we go. Got some beautiful bird friends that have been visiting me. Not much of a view from the top of Mount Tom, but that was a grind. Finished it in just about 2 hours. Got a nice view of Washington through the trees over there, and then the presidential range. This is indeed a 4,000 footer. Mount Tom. Scratch this one off the list. No signage, or at least the signage, if it is here, is covered with snow, but nice little clearing. On to the next one. So we got a double back, 0.6 miles back to the fork in the trail, and then we're hitting Mount Field next. It's so quiet and lovely up here. Sorry, Tommy boy. Was holding it for too long. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. This is what it's all about, people. A little bit of hard work. But would you look at this shit? Not a bad spot for a quick Snickers. It's truly unbelievable. I think this is the summit of Field. Once again, pretty uneventful. If I find anything else, I'll take a quick vid, but that lookout was pretty epic. The summit itself, not that crazy. Kind of blocked in by trees, but we keep it moving. My cold weather gear on this trip was pretty simple, and it really all came down to layering. I basically had a synthetic base layer, so a tight polyester and spandex shirt, running tights, underneath the fleece quarter zip and fleece lined sweatpants as my second layer. And then I had wind and waterproof hiking pants as a third layer on the legs, and an Omni heat reflective windproof Columbia jacket as a third top layer. In my backpack, I also had a dry pair of socks in case my feet got too wet. I had a thin down vest in case my core temperature dropped a little bit too low. I had a thin pair of gloves, and then I had a thick pair of Gore-Tex gloves with cinches around the wrists. I had toe warmers in my boots. I had hand warmers in my gloves. I had a winter hat on. I had a balaclava in my backpack in case I needed that. I had an ice axe with me, which I didn't end up needing. I had 2 hiking poles with small snow baskets on the end. I had MSR Alpine snowshoes. And the worst part of my gear, the weakest part of my gear, was that I was wearing Timberlands, and it ended up being okay, just some blisters to show for it and some sore feet, but overall it wasn't terrible, although I need to improve on the next trip. That was indeed Mount Field, the one with the lookout. It was a little confusing, but I chatted with some nice folks, and they said just go straight. And I was like, well, none of these really look straight, but let's go. Then you descend for a bit, so I was worried, but here we are, ascending in life and on the trail. And I believe I got a peek at Mount Field from behind me, and it just looks way further away than what I would have expected. That over there, I think, is Field. Oh, somebody came through here with just micro spikes, no snowshoes. So it looks like it was packed down nice, and then somebody just dug post holes every like 3 feet. So a bit rough on the ankles, but we're doing good. Almost there. Although, descending, which is bizarre. Wow. Found the culprit that was digging the post holes. Honestly, good kid though. Just didn't know what he was getting himself into. But look at the trail now. Perfect. Just packed down. Easy going now. Man, it would have been nice if everybody came prepared, but that's all right. I was hoping I'd pass him because I knew his footprints were only going in one direction. So I was like, well, if I catch this kid, then it'll be smooth sailing. Nice little lookout here. Super quiet. Well, we're ascending. Looks like we're gonna peak right about now. Let's check it out. I realized this trail might be called Willie, not Wiley, but who cares? Oh, I think that was the summit behind me. I think this is just another lookout. Well, let's find out. Oh yeah. Holy shit. Isn't this something? Third 4,000 footer of the day. Done. Whew. Temperature just about 10 degrees, but actually I'm pretty warm if I'm being honest. Look at this view. Unbelievable. It was a grind to get up here. A grind indeed. What's up? But always worth it once you get up here, see the views. So 4,000 footers number 3, 4, and 5 done today. But I'm gonna start heading down. I want to get home pretty soon. It's already around 3 o'clock. I think, maybe 2. Honestly don't know. But I'm gonna get a quick snack and then I'm gonna start my descent. Amazing. More than halfway back to field now. There she is. The trekking's not so bad, although as you can tell, the final push back up to field is like summiting it for the first time, kind of. But after I get to field and then I begin to descend, the rest of the hike back down to the lot and to the car is gonna be pretty easy. Made it back to field. Batteries are low, so this is all you get. Alright, back at the car. Unreal day. Summited that one. Summited that one, and then potentially that one over there. Willie might be behind field, but overall, crazy adventure. Absolutely love Crawford Notch. This hike or snowshoe ended up taking me 6 hours and 44 minutes, which actually isn't that bad considering I was filming and all that stuff. The activity itself had 31,289 steps. I burned 3,028 calories, and my average heart rate was 126 beats per minute with a max heart rate of 193 beats per minute. The exercise stimulus of this hike was pretty solid. I spent most of my time in zone 1 and 2 with a heart rate between around 110 or 155-ish. I did spend an accumulative almost 35 minutes in zones 3 and 4, which is not bad. Most of it coming during the summit pushes. You can see that first jump on the graph is the Mount Tom summit. I believe the Mount Field summit is that next jump around 2/3 in. Then that third jump is Mount Willey summit. And the fourth jump in the heart rate is going back up Mount Field again from the other side, because that ascent actually is pretty tough on the way back as well. Overall, I did not sleep that terrible considering it was -10 degrees and I was in a hot tent. I got just about 6 hours of sleep. This trip did end up fine-tuning some of my winter systems inevitably, and I do plan on banging out the Wildcat Ridge Trail next, even though I planned on doing it already and I was a little disappointed that I didn't end up attacking it. I'll talk about that a little bit in the next video's intro. But that's next on the agenda. I'm confident that I can bang it out, and I'm going to be happy to get the Wildcats done with. If you guys like that video, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you're into outdoor adventures or health and fitness or how those things intertwine, that's what this channel is all about. Plan on doing a lot more adventures soon, and I want to weave in how it is that I stay fit for this lifestyle, and if it's a lifestyle that you're into, definitely subscribe to the channel, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next one.